Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. It is Tuesday, February 24, 2026. I'm going to talk to you guys about today about an incident that happened at a Texas school where we have a teacher, a kindergarten teacher, who got so upset and lost her temper to the point that she ended up attacking a 5-year-old boy. So that's what I'm gonna talk to you guys about. I'm gonna give you a trigger warning. Maybe everything that I might say here may trigger some people because obviously you have a grown adult attacking a 5-year-old. So I'm sure that can be very sensitive matter to a lot of people. So I wanted to give you that trigger warning. I want to also say thank you so much to everybody who's using Spotify. Please follow the podcast, JulissaDesigns podcast on Spotify. It helps me as a creator. I already was notified that my following on Spotify is very low compared to the reach that it's getting, meaning you know a lot more people listen to it instead of following it. So I'm just asking for you guys to follow it if you're listening any of the episodes because it helps me as a creator. And of course, I want to thank everybody who's watching this video right now on YouTube. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. So crazy times that we're living in, everybody. There are millions of crazy topics, stories that are going on right now. And as the days go, right, and as we get closer to the second coming of the Lord, it's biblical. We see in the Bible it says the love of many will grow cold. A lot of people are going to be exposed because God is basically exposing everybody's heart. Things that in the past they were able to hide so well is being exposed, broadcast being done on live, that everybody can hear. Then the video gets to social media and becomes viral. There's another case that happened this week also about that teacher who started saying very negative things about students of certain race. You guys can probably understand what I mean. And this is all during a Zoom call with other teachers and students, and she just went off and somebody had to say to her, we can actually hear everything you're saying. And now there is a demand for the school to do something about it, and that's how it's going to be. It's just going to be like that. Things that you know people were able to hide for so long, for so many years, now it's being exposed. And at the same time, what we are seeing is the love of many will grow cold. There's a lot of things that are happening that is kind of like hard to believe. Right now, there is a woman in trial for basically poisoning her husband with milkshake that she will do, protein shakes, they call it, every night or something. And then she wrote a book about it. She wrote a book about, she poisoned him. He eventually passed. And now, after that, she wrote a book about a children's book about coping with the loss of a father, right? How crazy is that? And everything's being, she was accused of um, poisoning him just to get the insurance money and everything, that she got from the book or something like this. It's just all very crazy, very, very weird behavior. Like I said, there's so many stories. This one that I'm going to talk to you guys about took place in a school, and we have a teacher who got so upset that a 5-year-old broke a pencil. Like, really, what do they do at that age, right? He broke a pencil and she basically attacked him. So it says here, Texas kindergarten teacher was arrested after allegedly twisting a 5-year-old boy's arm and forcing him into a corner for breaking a pencil. Pamela Mitchell, 64 years old, was taken into custody on Thursday last week, more than a month after police said she attacked a young boy in her Wake Up, Texas classroom. And the school is called J.H. Hine Elementary. For the reason that she did that, right? You know, how terrifying. She's 64, and this is a 5-year-old boy who broke a pencil, and basically she lost it, right? the only thing that he did was snap a pencil, and court documents revealed that Mitchell grabbed the teacher, grabbed the child, twisted his arm behind his back. Oh, it's almost like those videos that you see on police camera. Um, she grabbed the child, twisted his arm behind his back, and dragged him out of his seat. So, I mean, you know what just came to mind? There was another case too, um, on TikTok about, well, the video got leaked on TikTok, and then you see a grown man basically dragging his stepdaughter and basically grabbing her, right? And pushing her in the front of the car and slamming her on top of the car and all of that. It's like, wait a second, don't you like if there's a way to discipline a child, and people like this is why you can tell we're living in the last days, because people are doing crazy stuff that you're like, wow, do you not think that she's also like, she's not behaving, she might be, snapping back at you, but she's also a child. How are you gonna, like, do you wrestle? She's not like a person of your same size, nothing like that. And then the same thing here, she got so upset. This teacher got so upset, went to the child's seat, twist his arm around him. So she put his arm around and drag him out of the chair. Like, you're gonna fight with a 5-year-old like that? You're gonna get into a physical fight with a 5-year-old? Like, the mentality is just, in that moment, like, it's gone. And it tells you, people have a lot of temper and they need to be evaluated, especially when they're dealing with children, when they're dealing with the elderly, people who cannot control themselves like that. And it says here that she was charged with injury to a child, a third-degree felony that carries up to 10 years behind bars. She's being held on a $3,000 bond. And because this happened a month ago, it says here the student has recovered and is free from the injury. A spokesperson to the police said. And they also said, we recognize the gravity of the situation and remain steadfast in our commitment to protecting the students and care. According to the affidavit, the assault happened on January the 8th, so over a month ago, right? On January 8th, after Mishu briefly left the classroom and came back and discovered the boy had allegedly broken the pencil. Oh my goodness. 64 years old and she just lost it because of that. Like, wow. I wonder how long she's been a teacher. Um, After being told by her school aide what occurred, well, she stepped out. So I was wondering that. So I'm like, what is she doing leaving the classroom? But there was a teacher say there. Michelle allegedly lunged at the child and attacked him. School officers were alerted to the alleged assault after the aide reported it to the Department of Family and Protective Services. So that is the right thing to do right there. And I think that, wow, that aide, that teacher's aide probably has seen that happen many times. And she just like probably couldn't believe it. Like, how angry she got over that, to the point to just grab him out of the chair and twist his arm to injure the child like that. It was like, wow, this is gonna be just the last one right here. So they contacted the Department of Family and Protective Services. An internal probe revealed that the 5-year-old boy reported being injured after the violent interaction with his teacher. During the internal school investigation, the CPS investigation, the child was interviewed and told the principal that Pamela Mitchell's actions caused the child pain. Wake Up Independent School District said that they detained her last Friday. The teacher was detained last Friday, and she's no longer employed by the district. Um, they're committed to make Wake Up School District safe and well-being of every student. And they say we take every incident that risks the safety of our students seriously and investigate every report truly to ensure our school remains safe. Excuse me. Mitchell, who started at Hines Elementary School in October 2024. Wow. She hasn't been there that long, was teaching while earning her certification. She has previously worked as a substitute teacher. So, so why did it take that long for her to be? Why did it take that long for the investigation for her to be removed? You need to understand this happened January the 8th. She was just arrested. Was she teaching in the meantime? Like that's really bad because now you're endangering other children. To allow her to go back to teaching. And you need to understand too, like what type of evaluation. I'm not trying to say anything about people who are older in this they teach, but 64 years old, um, right before basically she's ready to retire, basically. Um, and but this is it says here that she was working for her certificate also. So she used to be a substitute teacher. Just started with them in 2024 October. So I wonder if they go through all this intensive type of evaluation about anger control, I guess you can say. And I mean, when somebody's that at that age and she's teaching kindergarten, right? You would think that there is some type of more deep evaluation, right, that goes on. I really don't know that information. That's why I'm just like guessing how much extensive training they go through just to deal with a classroom like that. Because like I said, it's breaking a pencil, like that's basically so common for children to do that, especially at that age. So it's just, you know, crazy that she lost it because of that. And she was not even in the same place. She asked what happened, and the same teacher A who told her what happened was the same one who reported her. So that's also interesting. But I'm glad that it wasn't kept between the two of them, because that's another thing that we see. We see it so often. Like I saw a video, I think I mentioned that before, of a daycare worker who threw a shoe from far away at a child who was screaming. She threw her own shoe, and the child got hit by the shoe. And her coworkers are laughing with her. Like, are you serious? This is the world that we live in right now. There was no like, wait a second, did you just did that? Like, that's crazy, and you need to leave or something, or let's get a supervisor here. It's like they're clapping for evil things like that. So in this case, I am glad that the teacher's aide was able to speak up and say, say this is what happened and she needs to be fired or investigated. So let me know, guys, what you think about this. I hope we don't get to see more cases like this. Children, they're just going to school, and they, 5-year-old is gonna do what a 5-year-old. She should have handled that much better than to physically attack the child like that. So let me know, guys, what you think about this. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to the channel, and thank you so much, everybody who's listening to the podcast. Have a good day.